the remote that came with the TV.
Okay.
And like to go through, I figured out how to change the settings, but it still wasn't right. You know what I mean? It wasn't formatted right.
You mean like the picture?
Yeah, like it. When I first was messing with it, the picture itself was like 3 inches smaller than the screen, so it was just a black bar all the way around.
Right.
It wasn't like widescreen. It was just clearly wrong.
Like.
So I like manually changed it back, but then it was all stretched and kind of weird, and like they were like, "Oh, it's fine," and I was like, "No, it's not good enough for me." So then like I did a factory reset, and then in order to complete the reset, you need the actual remote. Like the Comcast remote won't do the whatever functions you need, and then the buttons on the side don't do anything. So I was just like yelling at a fucking TV for like an hour. I'm like, "Why don't you fucking work?"
Well, I was
like, "It's fine," and I'm like, "It's not fine. I gotta go buy a fucking remote now.
I gotta go buy a new TV."
Literally, like I was like, steam was coming out of my ears at the most like mundane.
Well,
for some reason, when technology just doesn't work, it's just like, dude, will you just fucking work? I'm such like a dumb boomer with that stuff.
At this point in my life, like I don't even fucking care. Like I just expect technology not to work the way I need it to. So
that's
I'm like,
fair.
So I'm just like, fuck it. Like that doesn't work now. Like that's my Facebook. Like I'm like, that's just Chinese now. Like
that bothers me.
Why does it bother you?
I don't know.
Because I just gave up.
I don't know. I don't know why it bothers me, but if that was me, I'd be having a fucking stroke.
And then it's nice not having to see women, more women than I'm comfortable. I don't have to hear their ideas. Dude, I found this funny fucking video. Did I send you?
Gay.
Did I send you the one where it was like the guy who's like, or it starts out with that chick on the whatever podcast, which is like that. That's
it's like don't talk to a woman, and then he just goes right into a fucking chart
explaining like
the candlesticks.
Yeah, dude, it's so fucking funny.
It's like, here we triangulate the net profit.
Yeah, this is how
who needs women?
Yeah. Well, actually, that's a fun springboard. I was actually gonna try and fucking show this a couple episodes ago, but this is that thing, the flipper that I got, the Flipper Zero.
Yeah, I never got a full explanation. I just got like
all right,
Snapchat videes of you messing with the TV or something.
Yeah,
what is the purpose of the flipper?
So what this thing is like, you can see there's a whole bunch of like you have applications. So like games, obviously. Like I mean, I could like do a screen game. You can actually like hook it up to your computer and screen grab off of it.
Oh, really?
So like I'll just put a couple of things on there. But yeah, you got like, so you got games, you got your run of the mill shit. But then like you have this thing that's called the sub gigahertz. And like you have a bunch of things that like just transmit like RFID and like radio frequency. So
you're saying you got games on there? Like you can play like Snake on this little screen, or like what do you mean by games?
Dude, like I mean that's like the most limited. Yeah, like so you got like Arcanal, Blackjack, Bomber, Doom's pretty fun.
So you can use this as like a little entertainment device.
Yeah, like it's great when I'm at work bored. You just hop on like solitaire or whatever. I win on solitaire like 1 and 3. I'm like actually getting pretty fucking good again at that. Tetris is pretty hard on this, but it's fun. Me and Nick and I were playing tic-tac-toe the other day.
So that's just like,
yeah, like
that. You don't buy this to play games, but it's just a neat little side feature.
That's a side feature.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and also like I downloaded like I'll get into like what it does, but there's this stuff like that you can do where it has factory firmware that like you get through the like you know how there's like iTunes for your iPod or your iPhone or whatever. Mm-hmm. There's a thing called Q Flipper where it's just the same exact thing where it's like your hub where you hook this into your computer and you open up Q Flipper and you have access to this through your computer, and then like you can drag documents, files, whatever from the internet. I go on GitHub and I get custom firmware, so like I updated not only like the factory hardware, but then I put the custom firmware on there too. So there's like all right, so like look in here. Right here is sub gigahertz. So what you can do is you can read like radio frequency, like, and there's nothing going on right now. Like, I mean, you might be able to like find something, but like as you can see, like there's nothing that happened. But there's like a whole bunch I downloaded off of the GitHub. So like if I go into like CVS or Lowe's or Walgreens, you have like all the fucking like the help assistance needed in the blind cutting department, or like flooring desk needs assistance, and like it'll go through the PA.
Really?
Yeah. So like you just do it, you hook it up, and you see how it's got like the AM frequency. And then it just like it automatically is like pre-programmed to what their like frequency is. So like, you know, you got to change it if like you're in a different place, or like they changed it because they know people are coming in here with these things. But like you can do that. And then there's like a frequency analyzer, so you can just like sit here. I think because that Bluetooth, it's not picking anything up. But like yeah, like you can set the range, and like whenever you're near something that has like do you have your car keys on you?
I don't have the button.
Oh, okay, so like you'd be able to like find it, and then it's cool because it's not like you can use it on Kias to unlock their cars. You can use like a generic factory.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, like
wasn't there a whole string of Kia and Hyundai robberies?
Yeah, and garage door.
It's not because of this.
Yeah, it's absolutely because of this.
Oh, it was because of flippers.
I mean, they're not because of flippers, because of hacking technology. Like, there's things that are like more souped up than this that you can get. Like, this is just like like as close to a commercial. Cheyenne, leave them alone. As close to like a commercial grade one as possible. But like, yeah, so you mentioned that like you were having trouble with your grandparents' television. One of the things that you can do is you go down to the infrared, and it has like saved remotes. These are the ones at my house, but then you have universal remotes too. So TVs, audio projectors, fans.
TVs. What do we got? We got Vizio.
And that's just a generic one, so it like comes up and like you got that.
Oh, that's
like,
cool.
You hit it.
I needed like arrows.
I mean, there is arrows that you can get. Like, so like let's say you have a universal remote or whatever. You go to a saved remote, and like I have the Roku or whatever, so it's like the up, down, left, right. Like,
sweet.
Yeah, like, and I had to do that, but I mean, it takes all of like 2 minutes to do. Like, it's not hard. It's a fun little piece of technology, and it's like the more you play around with it, you like kind of like learn more about how shit works and like what's transmitting stuff. Like, there's like this thing I was watching yesterday where you can go online and it generates and reads QR codes at the same time, so you can like generate a business card through your phone. That like, let's just say I have this and nothing else. Someone's like, oh, like you have Can Man. Like, what's your phone number? It's like, here, and you just hold it up and it fucking transmits.
Syncs one over.
It just gives you the fucking contact right into your contacts. Yeah, it's fucking neat. Flipper Zero online, they're like $170. I think the guy just restocked too. So like, yeah, I mean, I don't think we're gonna get like a sponsorship or anything.
Sponsored by Flipper Zero.
But like, I want to show this fucking product. It's like really fucking cool. You get to learn about like just technology around you and like how shit works. Giant, leave them alone.
She's fine. Where that interests me is like taking that to a NASCAR race. I know that they sell scanners where you can actually like tap into like a certain driver's radio frequency, and you can like hear them being like, hey, my fucking tire isn't turning or something. Like, you know, you can hear their discourse with their crew.
Yeah.
But that's been around since like the 90s or however long. But I wonder if that could probably easily serve that purpose.
Oh, I mean, like easily, like you could at least identify what the bands are or whatever, and like you'd be able to like use your own like, you know, ham radio or shortwave or something like that to just pick up on. You wouldn't be able to communicate with them, but like you'd be able to.
Shortwave
like,
radio is interesting.
Actually, the Brownbacks across the street, they used to have a ham and a shortwave.
Love that fucking name.
Dude, fucking awesome.
Never doesn't crush. You say it, and I'm like, oh wait,
that's not a slur. Especially when I look the way I do today with the fucking fresh cut. Yeah, those Brownbacks finally moved out.
It's wet.
We got this kid named Will that works with us, and he's the dishwasher. He helps us a lot. For whatever reason, Nick keeps coming in and going, "What's up, wet belly?" Because fucking belly's
dude,
belly that's wet.
That's the
belly
worst
that
part
is wet. Belly that is wet.
Oh, dude, the worst part about being a dishwasher is your fucking
wet tummy.
Oh, dude, it's your waistband and your shirt. Like the whole front area is just soaked. Even when I wash dishes at home by hand, it's just like automatic.
Soggy food.
Tina the other day, she like grabbed me and she's like, "Why is your shirt all wet?" I'm like, "Just fucking washing dishes."
I was doing your work, bitch.
I pissed myself. I want to take a break.
Yeah, dude. I was actually like, I'm really interested in something that I just like saw. I was watching like some fucking thing on Rogan about like RFK Jr. Like,
he's the anti-vax.
Well, like, yeah, I mean, like,
that's
like,
kind of why he went viral a few weeks ago from being anti-vax on Rogan.
Well, he like he mentioned something about like JFK getting like Rogan said something about like JFK had this like radical idea if he wanted to like abolish the lottery, and I'm like, that's kind of like a preposterous thing to think about, but like he played it out like, you know, he's like, all right, like, you know, think about it, like, what does the government get every time somebody hits the lottery? They get like a third, if not more, like closer to a half of like whatever in taxes off of that. Like, regardless if you get the annuity or the lump sum, like regardless, they're taking like fucking half.
They just stole the numbers from the mob.
Yeah, totally. They take
a way fatter cut.
Yeah, and like what like makes me go like deeper into this, where it's like, it was interesting that Rogan said this. You know, Rogan's grandma served time, right?
Yeah, she was a number runner or a bookmaker.
She was a bookmaker for the mob, and like a year in prison or something like that when she was like 80. And it was like, dude, that's like, it's so wild that JFK, like the whole theory that why like the CIA wanted to take him out was that JFK was going to usher in the new CIA. He wanted to like dissolve the original CIA and bring in like a new fucking crop of people that were gonna like kind of be more focused on fixing problems within instead of trying to go overseas and like fucking manipulate shit. Because he saw like what the power of the CIA was, and before that, whatever like the predecessor to it, I forget the name of it. It was like some fucking like generic ass name, like military branch. But like the thought that like JFK could like completely abolish the lottery was like, huh?
Was he abolishing it?
To fuck with the mob. Yeah, because he knew that like the mafia still, even though the lottery is like legalized gambling, the mafia was still incentivized to like try and fudge the numbers so that they had the benefactor. And like think about like Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger won the lottery twice, and like
I think it was twice or 3 times.
It might have been 3 times.
Multiple times.
It was multiple times. I know it was more than once. Like.
He didn't win.
No, he won by proxy. Like he got some like he
fucking
knew the
intimidated
number.
Someone for their ticket.
Yeah, he knew the person that won and then went and took the shit.
Hey, I'll give you 100,000 or I'll blow your fucking head off.
Blow your fucking kneecaps out.
I won't bury you under an overpass in the fucking marsh.
I won't tie you to a chair and fucking let a dog rip your throat out.
Yeah, that was apparently his way to like launder his money or to like declare income. She'd be like, I've won the lottery again.
I've won the lottery again.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, that's like gotta be cool. Like, I mean, it kind of sucks. You know what's fucked up is that like I did the right thing and I declared all my poker losses on my taxes.
And you owed.
Not only did I owe, they fucking greatly diminished because I had one decent win, like one win over $1,000 last year. And it was only like $1,500. Like it wasn't like anything crazy, but it was like it was over $1,000. So they had to take like $1,100 out of my fucking taxes last year. So I was supposed to get like $2,200. I only got like $9.
Wait, so you win $1,500 and they take $1,100?
No. I get like $1,500 from the casino. Like I walk out of there with 1,500 greenbacks. But like when tax season comes, I owe $1,100 more, or rather, they garnished $1,100 from my refund.
Why is that?
Because I had paid. That's like their cut. It was like gambling.
How do they win 2/3 and you keep 1/3?
It's not like 2/3. It's not like if I made like $10,000, I would like if I placed first and won like 8, they probably would still take like $1,100. I think it's just like that. I had a profitable like.
That's fucking gay,
dude. Fucking that's.
Uncle Sam always takes his
cut. That's why
cut.
I've been playing a lot of cash and only cashing out for $100 or more. I mean, like above what I started with. That's what I mean.
That's the way to do it.
I mean, just pay my fucking bills. That's all I'm fucking trying to do, dog.
It's so lame. Like you hit a big one and then they fucking come over and they're like making you fill out tax documents. Like this kind of takes the fun out of it,
dude. Like imagine.
Like let me just worry about this on tax day. Just give me the full amount.
Imagine getting like a fucking hand pay. And like they're handing you like $4,500 on like a slot machine or something.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
and then they literally come over with tax documents.
Oh, they did that when I hit the high hand the other day too. Yeah. I hit the fucking Quad Kings over at the Dogtooth Podcast.
Hi, puppy.
Tell us something your mom doesn't want to know. Don't attack the mic stand.
Attack your tail.
Dude, she's been like.
I can reach it, Dad.
Dude, you know what's like crazy? I did pull-ups for the first time today since I broke my wrist, and then I also hopped the fence because I threw her ball clean over the fence at the park.
Shit.
It's like fuck, and then I was like, you know what? This is a good time to see if I can.
The dog park fence?
No, not the dog park. We were over to Amanda's Field.
Gotcha. The dog park fence, kind of high. I've had to hop it.
I told you about that time the kid broke his arm over behind the dog park.
Riding a quad or something?
No, he was riding a dirt bike running from the cops.
Yeah.
The cops like fucking pulled up on him. He thought he could go over the bumps or whatever full speed and just flew.
Ugh.
Landed on the fucking metal part of the fucking track and his arm was just in 2 pieces. So I went over to him and I had to prop his arm up so that then
You probably shouldn't have touched it.
No. He was like the way he was laying, his arm was like not in a good spot.
You're like Bert when Tom fucking took that tumble and Bert like rotate his arm. He's like, there we go, buddy.
No. This kid was like face down and his arm was like in like 2 pieces behind him. I'm like, no, get on your back. And like I got him like up and like propped up and like his arm like
reset it.
No, I didn't reset
kissed
it.
His boo boo.
I did. I sucked his dick. You did such a good job, buddy.
Speaking of Tom, he was on Matt and Shane's this week. It was a good episode.
Really?
They talked a little bit about when he fucking broke his leg and arm at the same time.
Dog.
It was a funny up.
I mean, that's like a fun topic.
Shane talks about doing ketamine this past week. It was like not what I would expect.
I would not expect that.
He's
either.
like, yeah, I was drinking and someone cool was doing ketamine, so I was like, I want to be cool. And he's like, I did way too much, and I sat in a hotel lobby, fucking unable to move for like 3 hours.
Jesus Christ!
And then I ate Pizza Hut and went home.
Dude, they gave me ketamine at the hospital, and I was like, it's not fun.
They give you ketamine at the hospital?
Well, yeah, because like you gotta, it's like a dissociative, so you like don't fucking like like they give it to Allison all the fucking time. Like she has to go to treatment once a month for like something that's going on with her. And
I know they do it for mental health reasons. Like Theo Von talks about it.
No, like
it's like a depression
like
treatment.
Not like pills, like because they do that.
They hook up like an IV to you.
Yeah. It's like a mainline thing. Like I was like all IV'd out. They gave me Dilaudid and fucking ketamine. Like, and I was.
You were on one,
dude. With that picture of me
just
when
fire up a dart in the room.
Dude, that picture of me when I came out of the hospital, where my like fucking my good eye is like lazier than my bad eye. It's like I was like, they gave me a fucking Dilaudid, like IV Dilaudid, then Oxycontin, 2 pills of Oxycontin on the way out, and they were like, oh yeah, well, you had ketamine like in you too, and I was like, oh. Dude, when I got back from the second surgery, the first fucking day I'm home, it wasn't like I was like, 3 days where I was beat up, man. Like I felt like shit, but like my body was like still adjusting to like, like being like, okay, it's like I didn't get as much anesthetic the last time, so like my body's like still like, okay, you're getting stronger, like you're feeling normal again. And I just like, I got a boner, like a morning wood, and when I like woke up, it was like, it looked not right. Like it didn't it looked like something was wrong.
How?
So like,
was it crooked? Was it
no, it was just
shriveled?
like, it shriveled is a good way. It looked like when you leave a hot dog on one of those rollers too long.
Oh, dude, that's the best kind.
It was like, just like over, like the skin wasn't sitting, like it looked like just sad and like.
It had a rough couple of days.
Dude, so like I sent a picture to Casey. I was like, look, like I know it's because I have anesthetic in my, she's a nurse. I was like, I know I have
That's what she wants to see.
I was
Your
like,
half a morning boner.
but it's like I have anesthetic in my system. It's just like kind of like, how normally it's like it kind of goes up. It was just, it didn't want to go. It looked like a sad elephant's trunk and was like Squidward's nose, maybe like
little chicken parm action.
Not even chicken parm, man. This was like like
it was just confused. It didn't even know which way it was going.
It was on ketamine, man. It had a dissociative.
Came out of my dink.
Would have been hilarious too if they jammed like a fucking straw up, like when Kim was doing ketamine lines or something. I'm Steve-O and I'm Joe's dick.
Oh, dude, the tubes in the fucking helmet head are.
That's a rough sell, man.
My good buddy Pat, he had some kidney stones or recurring kidney stones, and they had to fucking shove a tube in his wiener and go into his kidneys and fucking power wash them out or something, and then they leave that tube in for like a week to 10 days or something, and then at home he had to pull this thing out, and he fucking sent it to me on Snapchat, dude.
It's like,
it was like a magic trick.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It was long. He was like, that
thing goes up.
It was
there,
like
man.
fucking 10 pulls, and then it was like,
yeah, man.
I was like, ah!
Ugh. Damn.
Just a bloody clear tube. Fucking.
Yeah, the catheters are no joke, dog.
His fucking holes all gaped out.
I don't know.
He didn't show his dick. He just showed the fucking
how
tube
long
afterwards.
it was. Yeah.
He didn't like live record him.
That would have
pulling
been
it out.
hilarious.
He just showed the tube across his bed.
Going
I was like,
on,
what the fuck,
going
dude?
on Facebook doing some wiener
Facebook
magic.
Live. Mind freak. I'm Chris Angel, and I'm going to shove this tube in your penis.
I'm Chris Angel. I have kidney stones. I'm gonna give myself scurvy for a month so that I get kidney stones. Then I have to go to the hospital, and my trick is going to be pulling a catheter out.
We were young. We were early 20s, and I remember he was like, dude, I'm like peeing blood right now. I was like, nah. And I went in the bathroom. I was like, that's not good. You gotta go to the doctor.
Damn, I've pissed crystals before. That shit hurt. I've talked about that on here.
You pissed out a kidney stone?
No, I had a kidney stone. I had a sediment in my bladder from changing my diet. I was eating, like, when you make food, I was making a duck fat reduction. And, like, when you eat duck fat, it's very rich in fat. But it's, like, also rich in this fucking enzyme that, like, there's going to be, like, somebody vaguely medical.
Protease or something.
Yeah, I think that is actually it. It's, like, it's something like fucking, it's like some enzyme that, like, if you have it and you have a lot of it in a concentrated amount of time, it will fuck your, like, gut genome up. And like for whatever reason my way of processing and dealing with that is I started peeing sediment, and I thought I had a kidney stone, or like I thought like I actually had like some kind of like STD at first, and then I went to I've already told the story. I don't know what I'm talking, but anyway, you made me think of something. There was this fucking a really interesting thread that used to bounce around 4chan B, like back like in like 2010, 2011 when I was like first on there, and it was like medical horror stories, and it was like a subsect of like gore or wrecked or whatever, like we're just like people dying basically.
B is the only one I've been on, unfortunately. Yeah. I've never delved into any of the other ones.
I like Pol, I like X, I like a couple of the other, like TG, fucking S, whatever the extreme sports is. Like, yeah, like all that shit's pretty fucking cool. Like they all have their place. Like I usually just my main board's like Pol and B, but yeah, B used to have this like it was like a subsect of like wrecked or like gore threads where it was like just like medical disasters, and like people would like repost like whatever the I guess it was like BitChute files or whatever of like these old like videos from the 90s that were like, it was like a jumping off point of Faces of Death, where there's this one series called Traces of Death, but it was just like all these like horrific like medical fucking procedures where like this man was in a motorcycle accident, or like this man
a fun one to put in my head.
No, like this man was in like a pneumatic press, like and it's like just something fun, like it just like the raw footage of them like reattach, and all the people lived too, like it was like all like it all ended up okay, but like it was just like some real fucking like gross, but like that springboarded into other shit that was like this one story where a guy was like, I was an EMT, and in like the 90s, I went to this lady's house, and she was like morbidly obese woman who claimed that she had like been pissing blood, and like she couldn't figure out why she was pissing blood, and she like they ran her, like they did blood work on her, and like also like gave her a CAT scan and whatnot. It turned out like she did have like a massive bladder infection, so they drained her, and then like she comes back a month later to the doctor, and she has another bladder infection, and they're like, what the fuck is going on with this? So they treat her for it again, put her on antibiotics, and then like a month later she's got another fucking bladder infection, and then like the EMTs like have to rush out the third time because like she's like she's like hemorrhaging blood out of her fucking what they thought was her urethra. It turned out that her husband, like because she was so fat, her husband had been fucking her urethra instead of her actual like vagina, and it had like torn the wall through her urethra into her pussy. So like there was like a massive infection in that. It was like going up into her bladder and causing like clots and shit. But then like she would piss the clots out, and it would like
I can't.
Dude, like it was.
No doctor thought to peel back the folds and get in there.
Yeah, like it was like a whole thing.
They're like the doctor that finally came in. It's like, all right, let's get a look at this.
No, it was an EMT. They like literally thought she just had like a standard bladder infection, and they like looked at her and were like, "Yep, you're fine." Like
go to the GP or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they want to touch that shit.
That's what I'm saying. It took like 3 emergency visits for someone to finally fucking peel back the onion layers of that fucking twat.
Well, yeah, like I can't imagine how bad.
Like, dude, you've been banging her fucking bean.
I can't imagine what the husband was thinking. Like, yeah, it doesn't smell like pussy down here. It just smells like piss.
He's like, this is fucking first time I ever hit the bottom of one. Well, he thinks he's killing it, and he's just fucking rubbing the rim.
He's pushing fucking blood clots.
That's a fun. You ever have a fucking? I mean, I guess it's kind of a one-off, but there was a kid in my grade who, I think we might have told this on here, his nickname was Bullseye because he lost his virginity like sophomore year. He was just humping this girl's leg, like he didn't even get in, and then he finished. Everyone called him Bullseye because he missed the mark.
Oh, sweet.
Like, joke's on us because he was the only one actually like hooking up with a female. Like,
yeah, I mean, dude, I was back when I was still dating my college girlfriend. There was this gay guy that she was friends with, and for whatever reason, my girlfriend decided to tell the gay guy that I was a premature ejaculator, which isn't true, but like
that happens.
Okay, so it's like that thing that chicks do where they're playing hard to get, where they like get like basically naked and then like are like sitting in their underwear on your bed, and you're like fucking fooling around and like fingering her and whatnot, and then like all of a sudden she's like, no, I'm not fucking you, and it's like, well, like what am I supposed to do with this? And they like won't suck your cock or whatever, so like you just end up coming in your pants. And I was also like 19 at the time, so like it's like, oh, I'm feeling pussy and boob, and like go, like, come on, like it's nice. What I so and like I came in my pants like 2 or 3 times, like because she didn't want to fuck. She didn't want to fuck, like, but this was like
American Pie, dude.
A couple of times. No, it's not like I was like fucking a pie.
I thought you meant 2 or 3 times in one sitting.
No, like she like gave me blue balls a whole, but like by like the last time she was like jerking me off basically. But like, anyway, like she like disclosed it was like I came in like a minute or whatever. I was like, no, it was more like an hour. But she told this gay guy that, and every time like he would see you, he'd be like, hey, come again. Some like fucking dumb.
I'll fucking scratch your eyes out and hit
Some
you with my
dumb
purse.
fucking shit like that every fucking time. I was like, God damn.
Yeah.
I can't believe you know that. But like, hey man,
It's embarrassing.
It happens to the best of us. Like,
Yeah.
There's been times where like I can't even fucking get off, or like like it's not even like a drug or like an alcohol thing. It's just like I'm just like I don't want to like we fucked already. I don't feel like doing this again. I just roll over and fall asleep.
Nice.
It's a fun little like I gave my energy. I'm done with this now. That's more embarrassing than coming early, in my opinion. Is not coming at all.
Yeah, at a certain point, they're like, can you fucking wrap this up? And you're like, I'm fucking
the
trying.
Chappelle
You're like
show.
holding your breath, fucking choking yourself out.
The Chappelle show bit where you got the box. It's just like, wrap it up, yo.
I never saw it. I chuckled politely.
Never saw Chappelle show?
No, I never saw that bit.
Oh, it's like, yeah, there's like a box and he's fucking his wife, and his wife's like getting bored, so she's got this box and it just like has an alarm buzzer. It's just like, wrap it up. Yeah.
The fucking, the most recent Two Bears, Bert was talking, he didn't believe that squirting was real.
I heard that clip.
It was funny.
But like, what? No, you elaborate on that. Like, what was
I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that.
It's absolutely real. I mean, even if it is a little bit piss, it's like it's real. Like some
It
people,
just to wrap it up with the girl holding the box reminded that. And then they had some female comic come on. She's like, it's real. And he's like, you've totally convinced me. He's fucking dumb for it. It's fucking, he like totally flip-flopped on everything
Squirting's
he
not
said.
real. Squirting's real. Okay, so
have a beef
basically,
with Bert.
basically, I'm an alcoholic, but I'm in denial because people enable me because I'm in LA, and this is a lifestyle where. It's like he's like the Beagle of stand-up comedy. Like I like him, I really do like him, but it's like he just is fucking like he goes like, look, you're scaring the dog. Bert, you're annoying my dog.
You kicked my dog.
You kicked my dog. No, like I actually was like thinking about this the other day. There was like it was like that guy that was like trashing Segura and Bert, but like the one I sent you was Bert, but he did one on Segura too, on like how like they got like way too jaded by LA. And there's like I got to admit, like Two Bears is kind of hard to listen to these days. Like I'm not a fan. I like it. Like there's like moments in the shows where I laugh like my fucking ass off. Like I have to. Come on, Shot, leave him alone. Shot, come on. Hey, over here.
Freaking big mitts.
Oh, dude, I have to get her fucking paws trimmed too, because she's due for I wanted to brush all of her coat off before I send her to the groomer.
I don't find Two Bears particularly unlistenable. It's
not
one
that
of the
it's
only ones that I still pop
Cheyenne.
in. But it seems to be more...
Cheyenne, get the fuck off him. Come on, over here. Cheyenne.
It seems to be more of like Tom and a guest or Bert and a guest. Like they're not doing actual Two Bears episodes are more rare now. But like they had a NASCAR driver on, Ryan Blaney, a couple weeks ago. That was pretty cool.
Like they're like their podcast formula is fucking great. It's just like a hangout, but it's like they're really like they're good with like the mixed media. It definitely has like a Rogan-esque feel where there's like production quality and whatnot. But like I just find that like whenever it's like just Bert and someone else, like I'm just tuning out. Like even like
Tom is the fucking holds. He's like
he
guides
does.
that ship or whatever you want to call it. Like,
but Bert's just like it's not that he's like all over the place. I don't mind that he's a scatterbrain. I don't even mind that he's like a fucking like he's kind of a doofus. But like it's his marketability. Like it's honestly
that
like
is
it's who he
Bert.
is.
Yeah.
Like it's not a bad thing or anything. But it's like they start getting like hung up on like dumb LA shit, and every time it like gravitates towards that, I'm just like I'm out. Like I don't want to listen to like
Tom doesn't even live in LA.
but no. Bert, like what I'm saying, it's just Bert. It's like it always gravitates toward. All right, so I was at the store, and so and so was there, and like my favorite part was that, dude, they give you gift baskets, and it's like, do you just live in a fucking like retarded
He's like,
bubble?
dude, I was watching Will Smith's story, and I DM'd him, and then he DM'd me back, and
It's like,
I got like 10,000 likes.
Can we go on tour
He's so
together?
big on social media, dude.
It's like
he's so like about the numbers and shit. He's like, I got 150,000 views on my story.
It's totally his chick, because Leanne is like absolutely like.
No, I think that's Bert.
No. Check this out. Like Leanne's like one of those people where she's like a very smart, entrepreneurial minded like lady, and I think lady. I think for the most part, like because he talks so much about how she's always like pushing him to do more and do like pushing him to like keep going on tour, do what you need to do, make sure you.
I don't think does he talk about that
all the
I
time.
get the opposite vibe where it's like she wants him to slow down and like fucking.
No. She wants him to like slow down on
drinking.
like drinking, yeah, like, and like the fucking excessive shit, like, but like she knows that like he.
No,
like,
I don't think she wants him to tour constantly.
No. Not you're not listening, bitch.
I feel like I listen to the show more than you, and you're just.
No. I'm talking about clips. I've seen a lot of clips, but it's like Leanne talking about like how Bert often says like Leanne like motivates him to do things, but it's more like she wants him to make money. She doesn't want him to do like all the party boy shit. She's like, no, this is a smart financial decision, and it makes me think that like she's like in his ear about the numbers, and that's why like he obsesses over it, because it's like, well, my wife wants me to be successful, and it's like if I keep my wife happy, then like everybody's happy, and then like, you know, I can keep doing what I want to do, and like if she's happy, then she's gonna stay off my back drinking, and I think that's kind of like the reality.
Yeah,
of
like
the
if I'm
situation.
killing it, she can't be mad.
Yeah, she can't be mad if like
It's
me.
part of the formula, babe.
That's just it. It's like, you know, my
People
success
won't like
is,
me if I don't drink.
My success is conducive to me continuing in like part, like, because I know the Bert or whatever the tour was.
The
just
drinking
on.
shtick to me is just getting like sad at this point. I don't mean to sound like a dry drunk, but like
No,
I think
it really is.
it's just like you're in your 50s now, man. Like you have a serious problem. Like,
Him talking about the way he drinks on airplanes like fucking bugs me out. Like, because like Joey Diaz at least
I used to
acknowledges.
drink like that. Like I totally get it, but I was also like 22. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not like 2.5 his age.
And I don't want to be like the get sober preachy fucking douchebag. If you drink, go for it. But like if you're drinking every day to excess, it's probably not a good thing, and you should probably reassess. But like, yeah, this guy's. It's just like, I don't want to say it's tired or whatever, but it's just like, got so drunk and Bert.
Yeah,
it's just
like,
like,
it's
all right, dude, you got fucking. I think Bert is funnier and stuff when he's more insightful when he's sober. He does.
I agree. Yeah,
like he's. I'm sure he's not hammered on every podcast. You know what I mean? Like
he's stupid. Like, but like his stupidity.
but him,
and
like I've heard him on the Burtcast where he's like completely sober and he has like a guest on. He's like, yeah, he is stupid. He is kind of like doofy and stuff, but he is. I don't know.
Coherent and like,
Yeah,
you know, like put together. Like he's
He's a smart dude. He's doofy, but he actually is like a smart, like business savvy type dude. And I feel like the whole thing where he's like, oh, people won't like me if I'm not drinking or whatever. I don't think that's true.
I think he's
A certain angle of his crowd might be like, but people will still get drunk at your show if you're not drinking. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't.
You've cultivated that like aesthetic. Like you're already like you people are like hook, line, and sinker in there. But like I think it's more like it strikes me as someone where he's not like gaslit, but he's definitely enabled to try and retain that like in LA they just say like everybody's like you just pick an age and you stick that age the rest of your life. But I think like his like everything about his act and like the movie and like, you know, like just like everything that his root, you know, like who he is at the core is like motivated by like, well, money, but like they just want him to like continue being that 20-year-old party,
The machine.
Like, the machine. Like they think that like
The machine made his entire career.
And it's fucked up because like he's a funny comedian other than the machine, but like that's now what his like he's like it's like I could either try and, you know,
Does he still close shows out with that, you think?
Dude, he was talking.
I think every show he has to end
He
on
was
that.
talking about how he did a bachelor party for like some fucking like billionaire on a yacht or something
They were
like
like, just
that.
do the
They
machine.
were just like, do the machine and then come drink with us. And like he was like, okay. It was like for like $25,000. That's a semester of college for one of my daughters. And like, all I had to do was go drink like talking 15 minutes and then,
When they start talking actual numbers, it gets kind of depressing.
I mean, not
him and
really.
Tom are kind of like vague about it, but like you can kind of do some guesswork on
You can-
how many
you can look
millions,
it up,
how
like,
many
yeah.
you can't look up their exact tax return. You can look up their net worth and all that, but it's never fully accurate.
you also got to think of how much it's like of it is.
It's
an
probably
LLC.
more than we think.
It's you know, significantly more.
Just the podcasts alone, the amount of millions those generate.
What you should do is you should do like Mr. Beast, and like I mean that's like it's unreal how much money that dude is worth, but like he can't actualize it because he's like he was smart and like he's
He
like
just keeps spending it
well,
into the machine.
Not only like he keeps spending it, but he's never made himself like the benefactor somehow. Like he LLC'd himself like way early on, so like everything is just on paper the business, so the business can flourish. And like he never has to
He just
worry
pays
about
himself
shit.
like $500K a year or something.
Less, like I think it's like significantly less than that. I think it's like 200 or something like that. Like he makes like what like a fucking high school principal makes or something. Like from what I understand, I know
On
that
paper.
like on paper that's what it is. But like
How
yeah,
many fucking suitcases full of cash is he wheeling out of there?
it's like not really that.
Like the mob.
He's explained like how he's like entrepreneurism and like his personal life. It's like his personal life is like so downplayed, but like it's like the the image of Mr. Beast is like so much his brand that he's like able to just like, no, like that'll make money. Like even when I lose money, I make money. And that's like kind of a disgusting thought to have, but like it's a real
the amount of money he spends on like a single video. He went on Rogan and talked numbers. He's like, this video cost me $500,000 to make. Like they did like a Squid Game reboot and he spent like $1 million or something.
Yeah,
like
man.
But then it'll generate fucking $5 million in ad revenue over the course of a year. It's like,
just
and then he
invests back into the company, then makes bigger shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I guess you avoid taxes that way because you're reinvesting in.
It's not that you avoid taxes. It's just there's like I forget what it is. It's like it's something so that you can't be a shell corporation basically, but like you can't like pay out like to outside, like you have to like spend money within a company. So like he's smart in that he's made like 90 brands of like himself, so that everything is
chocolate
like its
bar,
own,
burgers, fucking.
And like even the YouTube channels, like because they generate ad revenue, are like LLCs. So like he was able to like, as long as you spend money within the company, or you can prove that that's something that like, even though it was like a $3 million project, all of that was for Mr. Beast's YouTube or like was Mr. Beast Games or whatever. Like that's like he dodge, like it's all tax write-offs. Yeah. Like, and it's not like the company has to be profitable or like, or you know, in the negative or whatever for them. They just can't tax certain things because he's getting taxed already as a corporation X amount. And
all
it's
that
like,
stuff just warps my brain. I'm like, this is so dumb. It should be. I think that shit should be straightforward. Like
it is straightforward. It's just they use legalese to fuck with
the
you.
The legal loophole is how like super rich people get out of paying taxes, and like the working Joe just fucking pays 30% of his check over, and that's that. Like,
I mean, there's legal loopholes. You just gotta like look into them. It's really
for a 9-to-5er to
absolutely
avoid paying taxes.
Roth IRA, best investment you can make. Roth IRA.
Well, investing, yeah, but I'm saying on your paycheck, they're
okay. So think about this: they take out money on your paycheck. Correct. Whatever, you can get paid under the table.
That's my main point.
They're gonna come after you. But let's say you have a cash side hustle that you generate income off of. A way of you to never pay taxes on that money is to take that money, get into a lump sum of $6,500 and invest in a Roth IRA. You don't have to invest in jack shit. That money just has to sit there for 5 years, and you can add $65 contributions every year.
$6,500?
$6,500.
It's $65.
$6,500. So $6,500 every year adds up to like if it was 6, it would be 30. So 6.5, it's like what, like 40 something. Like you can contribute about like $40,000 into your Roth IRA over the 5 years, and then after the 5 years, you will never be able to get taxed on capital gains. So like, if you can find a way of making $6,500 in cash, you can open a Roth IRA with that, and you will never.
Where do you go to open a Roth IRA?
TD Ameritrade. Just as long as
you
you
go
have
to like TD Bank.
No, TD Ameritrade.
Like online.
Yeah, you go online, put your money into a fucking like
checking account or something.
A checking account, an ACH transfer, like how you can go to Western Union and fucking
Walmart cash or whatever.
Dude, yeah, like there's a million ways that you can fund your TD Ameritrade.
Can you just put it in your debit card?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's the way I do it. It's an ACH transfer. So it's like as long as you have a bank account and a social security number, you can open a Roth IRA today. And it's like you will never get fucking taxed on that. Now, if you put that money into the stock market, and let's say you put like everything, you put the house, $40K on like some fucking penny stock that moons, and you get up to $150,000 on a $40,000 investment and cash the whole thing out, they can't tax you on those gains.
Because you used your Roth money to do it?
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yeah, see, like there's ways like that. Like, I mean, and I'm not saying that that's for everybody, but that's a way. And you could also, like, let's say you want to give somebody a small cut, like they take like 2.5%. Have someone manage your money for you that's more savvy. They'll fucking get you on shit.
Is that stuff always paying out? I see businesses all over. It's like capital management, money management, or whatever.
You gotta find someone that you can trust. Like we have a dude that's an accountant that my dad's been working with for like almost like 40 something years, and it's like they are like that. They've been working with each other since they were like an accounting firm together. Like it was it's something that you have to like really know who to talk to, because other people will just steal your money and try and get you in on bunk investments.
So you can put the $6,500 a year, and then do you have to wait like you said, each year for 5 years?
Yeah. So
do you have to wait 5 years from each of those individual investments?
Nope. 5 years from the
initial
investment, okay. And you can contribute $6,500.
Can you just keep doing that?
You can continue to add to it, but it's like 5 years to.
Can you open a different Roth IRA and just?
Okay, so like if you have there's like ways around like getting it. Like there's like other Roth things that like you can't get taxed on capital gains, but like there's like treasury bonds and shit that you have to like you only have to fuck with those. So you're locked in for like 25 years, but like you won't get. That will generate a dividend that you can reinvest into the treasury bonds and shit like that. And from what I understand, as long as you reinvest that dividend back into those holdings, like you're never going to get taxed on it, and then you can pull it out after the 25 years, never have to pay a cent in the taxes. But that's not like liquid capital where like in an emergency you would have to take the tax hit and then pull out that cash. Like I don't think it's like that. Like you're locked in for 25. It's a contractual lock.
So you could take the tax it and take the 6,500 back. You need a car or something.
Dude, like
something
let's say
comes
you
up.
get like 2 years into it and you find that penny stock and it goes from like a nickel to like $100 and you've got like a billion shares of this thing. You're a billionaire now. Dude, take the fucking hit and run. But like if it's like a bond, I think you're like I forget. There's like other things
a
too.
fucking CD.
You're like locked in contractually. Like
Did I tell the story on here where the bank tried to like fucking basically seize my money?
Really? For what?
Because my savings account went dormant.
How do your savings account go dormant?
You don't do any transactions for a certain period of time. I
Like
think it's
a
3
year?
months or a year or something.
Yeah, I have actually heard of that. Was it TD?
Yeah, and I tried to deposit like literally like $200 in my savings account. I was putting like 200 in Vincent's account and 200 in my savings account, and they were like, we can't deposit this. Like, we deposited the one for your son, but like this one, it won't let me deposit because it says your account is dormant. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, it's a savings account. Like, what the like? I put money in there and I save it. Like, I don't fucking touch it. I had a baby, haven't put money in savings in a fucking while. You know what I mean? Like,
sense,
you know what I'm saying? I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're like, you need to come in like every month or at minimum every 3 months and like just deposit $1 because it'll keep your account active. They're like, how'd you like let this go longer? They're like, in another few months or something, the state would have seized your account, and then you have to fight it legally, and it takes up to a year to get your money back, and you have to pay for a lawyer. So I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, it's not a TD Bank rule. It's a state rule.
Yeah, it's a
and I'm
state
like,
rule.
that's fucking total
it's like a
bullshit.
federal rule, to be completely honest. I think it's like something.
What is the point of a savings account? How many old people have money in accounts that they just fucking forgot about, and then after 2 years, the government just takes it?
Well, okay, so like a way that you can dodge that, is it earning any interest?
I had it set up in a way where it was, but I think it took like $50 from my checking to the savings. It was like a special one, and I got an extra like half a point of interest or something that way.
Okay.
So I was getting maybe like 11 cents a month or something. But that program, I think it was only for 5 years or something like that. So it's not taking the 50 anymore. So I don't think I'm in like monthly interest anymore.
Okay, so like on mine, it automatically invests my interest into my account. But like what I do is like when I get interest on my checking account, like I just put the interest that I get back into.
Yeah, they were like,
savings.
you can just do it on your app. You could just transfer money.
Yeah.
But the lady was like, you still have to come in and do like a paper transaction like once every 3 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, so I have to quarterly come down to the bank and fucking sit here like a jerk off and like what for what? That's so fucking retarded.
Well, you're not earning interest, but you can always pull your money out. Like, I mean.
Yeah, I could, but who the fuck wants to do that? Like, and put it where? Like
Put
in
it
a
on the
different
marker.
fucking saving, like.
I'm not even fucking kidding. Put it on a marker and fucking let that shit ride. Like,
So essentially, like, you could just take all the cash out and like have the cash, and then like don't have to worry about the state fucking seizing your money from dormancy.
They would tax me the fuck out of me if I actually like did that. Like, I would fucking play.
I meant from like a savings account. They don't tax you for pulling your money from that.
Oh no, that's your cash. That's like cash. You're not fucking. There's no way. Like that's one of those like Marty Bird things where usually like let's say like I have like 31 grand in my savings account with Navy Federal. They could probably cover that no problem. It would need like a couple hours maybe, but like if I went in there and I had like let's say like 100K in my savings account,
you can't even take that out.
Yes, you can.
Well, like they're gonna need some time to put that together though.
Well, that's just it.
Yeah.
It's like they're gonna be like, we're gonna need like 24 hours to get that fucking done, and you know, it's not like the hardest thing to fucking do. Cheyenne, leave them alone.
You like totally can, but yeah, I've always
Yeah.
seen that thing online where it's like we're gonna need like
Come
back tomorrow.
Yeah, they're gonna need a little
have to
bit.
call the Fed and place an order.
Well, what you actually do is they call the Treasury, like the local mint is like usually Philadelphia, and they're like, hey, we need like this much in cash,
100K in pens.
So, dude, you want to hear something wild? We can like kind of wrap on this. It's like we got 15 minutes. Ian and I were talking about that guy Tony G. He's a professional poker player, and then we somehow got on the subject of like comps and everything in Atlantic City. So like, There's like a couple of comps that you get like playing poker, but like I did not realize like how much fucking comps you get playing slot machines. It's like kind of a fucking racket, man. Like, did you ever fucking like read any of the fucking things on your
I never knew what fucking comps meant. What 2x tier fucking point? I don't fucking know. Do I get free drinks or not?
Yeah.
That's all I give a shit about. Free parking and free drinks.
Bro, I went in and I like read something on my thing, and it was like, because like I had like 4x comp tier points or whatever, so it's like, oh, I'm earning for the amount. Took me a while to get on a poker table, which I was intending of playing, like at least like 3 to 4 hours of poker. And then like, I was like, yeah, well, like it's going to take me an hour to get on there. It's like an hour I'm not going to play. Fuck it. I'm just going to go play a fucking slot machine. And then I got that email from the fucking collection agency or whatever that I broke my balls. So I was like, fuck, I'm just going to fucking burn my bankroll real quick, see what I can turn this into. What you do is you play go to a high limit one and you play like $25 a spin, but your fucking spins, because you got like the 4x on your fucking tier rewards, it's like you're going up like 40 points a spin as opposed to you like earning like 1 point every like 2 or 3 spins on like lower denomination. So you're essentially getting more for just like one. I don't know. The math evens out. But what was happening was I was like calling and fucking having a whole bunch of shit going on. So I was playing incredibly poorly and I burnt through $400.
But how much comps did you make?
I made like, dude, like it was like 1,500 in fucking comp points. Like I have enough to like get like a nice room now. Like, I mean, not like I have more comp points and shit from playing prior to that. But it's like I earned so much. Or excuse me, I said 1,500, like 15,000. Yeah, like
I don't know what that equals though in comp
like,
world.
It's like fucking you get like
1,000 comps for one dinner, or like
I've like fucking needed like 12,000 for like probably like two people to eat comfortably. Like
Jesus.
Yeah, so like
you gotta lose 400 to save $80.
Basically, I get like a $300 room, and then still have to pay fucking like the resort fee on it and the fucking maintenance fee. So it's like I'm honestly just paying
$60.
Just paying them like $65 to. Fucking.
How much is that stuff for the side fees now? I remember getting comp rooms with Johnny, and it would be like $30 for the resort fee, and that was it.
It was the last time I got one. It was Harris. It was 38, I think, $38.
It's not too bad. You can't be mad at it.
It's not terrible, dude.
If you give me the free room,
I got the free.
Honestly, if you're coming in and I'm putting fucking $500 down on the table, like you should give me a fucking free room. Like,
I got the free upgrade at Caesars, and I didn't even fucking played there in a while. They just were like, "Oh, like you
come hang out, dude."
Like I was there. I was with a friend, and we were staying. Like the room we got was like, hey, we're like in Qua. We went to like the spa and shit like that to get like massages and whatnot. So like,
sounds pretty gay.
And it was a chick, so yeah,
gay.
It's naked. Who cares? Got
happy endings from a Chinese man.
Yeah, it was two ladies. It was like me and 3 women, and then there was like all these like Asian dudes in the locker room that just were like very indifferent about like being naked around me, and I was like super not into being naked. So like,
fucking Siri fucking said Chinese man. She Googled. I heard a voice. I was like, what the fuck was that? And it was Siri searched Chinese man.
What came up?
Chinese man on Google.
Show me what came up.
I don't know. Hey Siri, search Chinese man. Chinese man.
Here's some information.
It's just Chinese man is a French trip hop band formed in 2004. That's not what I was expecting at all. Well, Chinese man is a male born in Asia.
China man is a man that roams the
Speaking
streets
of Chinese man, I want to say happy birthday to my buddy Jan. He is, I guess he's 28, 29 now. He's fucking getting old.
Limo.
He's killing it. He works for like Lockheed Martin or some fucking fancy company making like $1 zillion a year. He's fucking crushing it. Shout out to Jan, dude. Miss you, buddy.
Make some Apache helicopter missiles to shoot.
Nah, he doesn't do the helicopter thing anymore. He works. He's like an engineer for fucking Navy or something. Like he gets to travel the world.
My business is done here.
Yeah, dude.
Wash his hands in the situation.
He might be a spy, but like
he is a spy.
At least he's on our side.
He's a great goalie too, man.
He'd make it quick when he has to fucking take us out in 20 years when the fucking Red Army comes over.
You kidding me?
Different red, but
yeah,
I didn't mean Russians. Yeah, the Yellow Army comes over.
General Sal's army.
Oh God. But yeah, Jan's a good pal of the podcast.
We should mention Chinaman though. Shout out to Chinaman because
They're a different
I
tier of human being.
understand that, but I like Chinaman because I have plenty of experiences with Chinaman that were fucking hilarious. Like he used to go and hang out at the Boneyard. And like, okay, so for example, the Boneyard, have you ever been there? Like, did you ever go there?
But Chinaman to me seems like he's fun on the internet, and then like I feel like being around him in real life would probably be gay.
Hilarious. He's awesome. He's fucking awesome. All right, so like he used to be a regular at the Boneyard because like there was like all these like fucking miscreants that would get kicked out of the casinos and couldn't go to bars anywhere. So like, and Rick had like fucking $2 well drinks like on Tuesdays and whatnot. So yeah, you just go there half the time for like an open mic or like the fucking metal night or whatever, and there would be like 3 bums that are like they have nothing to do with like punk or metal music or any of the acts. They just want to fucking drink for fucking cheap. There was one dude that had like some kind of neurological disorder who would go up to the front of the stage and just like fucking shake violently. No, it wasn't me. It was not me. It was this fucking really skinny guy. And he lived above the fucking like. There's like a hair salon next door, and he lived above that. But then there was like fucking Chinaman. Chinaman would come in there, like. He was just this fucking bum crackhead fucking Chinese guy that had a bunch of fucking face tattoos, and I always like saw him. He was nice as fuck, like super fucking weird, but like pretty fucking funny. And then he was real tight with the one band No Comply, and like the guy Johnny that played in that band. And one time Chinaman comes in the bar, and Johnny walks all the way from the stage to the entrance of the bar, picks Chinaman up on his back, and carries him to the front of the fucking pit. As he's walking by me, Johnny goes, "God damn, Chinaman, you put on weight, you're getting heavy." And Chinaman goes, "I am full of noodles."
Of nudo.
Dude, he's like the fucking funniest. And like, yeah, the last time he was spotted was Stu's getting a tattoo with the fucking diving horse. He says Chinaman's out front hugging a cop. The man has "fuck the police" tattooed across his forehead.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, dude. Like, he's a legend. He's fucking hilarious.
I wonder, shout out to AC Crust. I wonder what happened to that dude.
Who? Chinaman?
No, the guy who like kind of made him a local celeb was the guy who ran the AC Crust Instagram.
I think he's the guy from. I think he just changed YouTube channels, like, because it's the guy from Gutter Drunk, isn't it?
That's a different guy. He was in the crew.
Oh, okay.
He was the guitar dude.
Because Johnny was the guitar player that was like always hanging out with him, but I thought that was just on Johnny Burden's page.
No, this was a different guy. It was like this fucking muscly looking. I think he was a recovery dude. It wasn't. It's not Johnny. It wasn't the guitar guy you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
It was this other dude, but he just like stopped. I don't think it's active like at all anymore.
I know that's still up. It's just I don't think they haven't
posted in like years.
Not too many new videos.
And it was like a pretty.
It was a fun
popular.
Page.
They only have 15K, but
there's a video on there of Chinaman.
They haven't posted in over a year, but the guy showed his face, and it wasn't the guitar guy. It was a different. But I think he was a recovery dude, and then I heard that he relapsed or something. So like,
that's probably accurate.
Yeah,
he's a punk musician. It does stink, but like, no, there's a video on there of them taking Chinaman to get a job. It's like Chinaman applies for a job, and you just take him to like one of those bodega supermarkets in Pacific Avenue, and he just walks in. And he's like making fun of the watermelon, and he's like, "Can I get a job application?"
I forgot how gnarly this page was. There's just so many like crackhead hookers.
Yeah, dude, fucking Atlantic City's fucking gnarly. I want to move there. It's fucking awesome.
You're insane.
Why? It's fucking great. Like,
I used to feel that way when I was younger. I had this weird like nostalgia or something for Atlantic City because I went to daycare there. My mom worked in the casino. Like, so like I grew up going to Atlantic City for like however many years they're in daycare, 3 or 4 fucking years, and I like had this fondness of it. But you don't, when you're like 4 years old, you have these weird blinders on. And this was also Atlantic City in the 90s. It was actually like booming. You know what I mean? It was like its peak, and yeah, now, once I turned like 21, started going there again, I'm like, this isn't as cool as I remember. Like, this is just fucking greasy. This is a fucking shithole. When I was a kid, I was like, this is fun. This is a happening place. And it's like, I guess you don't notice all of like the fucking crackheads.
I knew it was a shithole from the time I was a little kid. I just like it.
I thought it was cool.
I mean, it is cool. It's still cool. It's fucking awesome. It's fucking great.
Dude, it's cool inside like Borgata and fucking.
Nah, Borgata's a shithole.
Saying like newer casinos, but like even like going to Harris, you're like, this place is a fucking dump.
It is a dump, but that's like there's like fun little pockets of like shit that like people don't take the time to appreciate.
It's not that cool though. Like going
up on the roof of the Claridge is fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. But I'm saying like the city itself, like the residential parts, it's like not that cool.
I mean, speak for yourself. It's pretty fucking sick. Like, you go to like the Madison Hotel, like that fucking spot's pretty sick. That's like a piece of like Atlantic City history, and it's like at one point was just like a derelict hotel. Now it's like kind of on the come up, and it's like right next to a very disgusting porno theater. And that juxtaposition makes me fucking happy.
That part is cool, but like.
You ever been to the...
I'm picturing you like living in like the hood. And I'm like, that doesn't sound that cool.
It sounds awesome, man. It's better than living in Louisiana, man. I'll tell you that much. Like, I wouldn't mind living in the hood in AC just because it's like, it would be cheap and it would be like fucking
it's cheap.
Interesting. Yeah, man.
It's certainly interesting.
It's like, dude, like
I can't say anything particularly bad's ever happened to me, but like... I just have white nervousness, dude. I drove home from Jan's house like 2 a.m. and it was just like fucking 80 scary looking black dudes just walking down the middle of the street. I'm like, I'm about to die, dude.
What are they gonna do? They're gonna fucking
take my Toyota Camry and beat me up.
It's not gonna happen. They don't want the fucking
What do you mean it's not gonna happen?
They don't want the heat coming back on the hood. If you're just some random white boy that's unaffiliated, they're not gonna fucking want the heat coming back to them, and they're gonna...
Tell that to my fucking great grandmama got mugged in Atlantic City.
Your great grandmother's not a like 20-something-year-old male like driving through the hood at like 1 a.m. It's not like you probably would give it up pretty easy, but they know for a fact that like the police are gonna come back.
I'd probably just floor it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, and then they wouldn't even, they'd be like, oh, just have a nice day, sir. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, it was, I don't know. It's just like the Bill Burr bit. He's like, I have a pretty muggable face. Like I'm just very fucking nervous. I was driving through like a fucking ratchet ass street, and it was just like, no one like outright threatened me, but it was just like, You're not feeling me here.
No,
like
you're
the type of dude who would just walk in and be like, "Hey, fellas, can I get on the dice game?"
I've lived in worse than fucking Atlantic City, and like it's not that bad. Like I mean, okay, so like if you told me
it's fucking bad in some
if
parts,
you told me that like, or rather, if I said like, yeah, I'm moving to Kensington in Pennsylvania, Philly, like I'm like, yeah, that
zombie land.
Yeah, but like Atlantic City, it's like that's like okay, it's ugly, it's gritty, it's really fucking gross for the most part, but like. Ultimately, not that fucking bad.
Pretty bad, dude.
Where I lived
regular shootings.
Where I lived in Louisiana was way more fucking ratchet than fucking Atlantic City, man. Paradis, Louisiana isn't even near New Orleans. It's like 20 minutes outside of
Parody. It's called
like paradise, but like it's spelled French because fucking bayou, fucking whatever.
Fucking fags.
Yeah, they so like literally, there was people that were just everywhere roaming around with guns. It was the hood.
Well, that's just Louisiana's gun laws, dude.
No, it's like it was more ratchet than anywhere I've ever been in Atlantic City. I've been down fucking horrible streets in Atlantic City for fucking horrible reasons that I don't want to get into right now. So you have 5 minutes left.
Outing yourself.
But like, dude, I'm telling you, I was way more scared in Louisiana at every fucking juncture than I was ever in Atlantic City. Like, and I mean, I've been pretty like, there's time and a place for everything. Sometimes don't fucking go when the block's hot. During the riots, I was absolutely fucking afraid.
Yeah, you're
for
bugging
that.
for that, dude.
That was fucking awesome, though, man. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. I wish that more people would have popped off because I really wanted to see the cops like come in and like fucking like really scrap with them. But like they just gave up and were like, because they knew that they were gonna catch fucking heat because they did the whole song and dance beforehand on the fucking like the Black Lives Matter protesters went to the police headquarters and the cops and them had like a heart-to-heart. They settled some shit, squashed some beef, but then people from the protest lingered around, and then all these out-of-town looters came in and were like, hey, everything's shut down, we're just gonna break in,
smashing this
and
Nike
like literally
window.
fucking broke into a Nike store and an Eckerd, and like dude, like it had nothing to do with the
pictures from that and like the people who got caught. It was so funny. Like the videos of them running down the streets with like 10 boxes of sneakers.
I watched it happen, like, and there was like some fucking black dude that told these there was like this black like gang of kids that walked by. Like one of them was like holding a bicycle. A couple of them had like some shit. I wouldn't say they were armed, but like they definitely had shit that like if shit popped off, they were swinging it. Like I mean,
yeah.
But like, fucking like yeah, I'm walking down the fucking I'm walking down Pacific Avenue and there's like these Arabs boarding up their fucking bodega. Literally, this black guy goes, "You don't even need to bother doing that. We're just gonna come back and burn it down." And like, I was like, "Holy fucking shit!"
Fuck that.
I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty brazen." And then there was these guys that had robbed a cell phone store, and they were throwing the cell phones through an MAB paint fucking sign. Somebody shot at the bulletproof glass on the Bass Pro Shop, and like I heard that gunshot when I pulled up, and like a bunch of people fucking scattered. Like it was pretty fucking gnarly, but like I mean, I never felt like I was gonna get like my shit pushed in or anything. They were just gonna
Yeah,
probably
but you
be
can
like,
just catch a stray bullet, wrong place, wrong time.
fuck it, man. Like you could do that anywhere.
I was gonna say like.
I live in a hunting preserve. That could happen like here.
I don't want to shit all over Atlantic City because I do have a place in my heart for AC. It feels like, our little home. It's not our home, but it's like our local city. You know what I mean? You go to events and stuff there, whatever the fuck. But there's a different, you have to have like your head on a swivel when you're walking around there. Like it's not like you can't like relax when you're just like walking down the street. Like you can, but it's like a different. Like when I was just thinking like when I go for a walk in Tuckahoe at night, I'm like not even like I'm in fucking Disney World. Like I'm not even paying attention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're in the city, it's just this different level of like fucking. I don't even know what the word.
Paranoia.
Yeah, not paranoia. Just like you got to be on your P's and Q's. You know what I mean? You got to fucking. You can't just be like. I don't know. Yeah, and you could walk through 100 times and nothing might happen, but like, I don't know. People start like walking behind you shit, and I'm like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Like, you know what I mean? You're just kind of like noticing.
I guess I'm like more desensitized to it because I lived in New York too. Because like Louisiana and New York are completely different, but like New York is like definitely the roughest. Like I would say, like
I don't feel this way in Philly. Like I go to like the touristy parts of Philly, and I don't really feel like.
I felt pretty
like down South Street. I feel not really nervous or anything, but
I feel pretty nervous in Philly in general. But like, I mean, like not really like the sports arenas or anything, but like when I go like deep in the heart of Philly, like it's bad. Like not great, but like not like horrible. But no, like New York was like.
I just feel like AC, especially around the casino, someone's always like scheming some
so
fucking
just
bullshit.
avoid,
Like some guy just like like
Tell
I went
him
to piss
off.
once in the bathroom, and this guy's like. Put a fucking 8-ball in my hand. He's like, yo, take that back to your friends. You can make some money. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, some weird, like, there's always someone like, yo, I got smoke or piff, fucking everything you need. And I'm like, no, thank you.
We
like,
mentioned it, like, on, like, another, like, a prior podcast. But there was, like, that one time the bum walked up to me while, like, I was, like, we were playing craps. And, like, that homeless guy just came in and fucking ruined the whole thing. Like, you got to think of Atlantic City, like...
so fucked.
You got to, like, think of Atlantic City like that in general. Like, it's not like, oh, black people were ruining it. Like, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like...
I am. I've been dancing around that for the last 10 minutes.
I'm saying that like there's going to be an element of fucking disgustingness to it, but that element of disgustingness is what is going to prevent Avalon from turning into Atlantic City from turning into Avalon or Ocean City, and I want
that's
that.
what it used to be.
It was never that like built up. Like it was never. It
was like the resort. I'm saying like early 1900s. Like it was like a literal. It used to be like a very clean cut resort. I mean, they did party and drink during Prohibition. I mean, like
it was mob controlled, like to boot, but like that was everything on the fucking beach at that point because they were running booze that way because of the ports. But we gotta like wrap. I'm sorry about that.
That's all good.
Podcast
sponsored by Atlantic City. You should invest in real estate there.
Hopefully, this podcast gets some shout out. Shout out Flipper Zero. Thank you for your beautiful piece of technology that I'm enjoying the fuck out of.
Sorry, it was a little all over the place. We're just fucking. We're just riffing. Joe's got to go to work.
I got to go fucking protect fucking my job, I guess.
Give Stewart's Handyman Service a call if you need anything done to your house. If not, fuck you.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Go fuck yourselves.
Bye.